Johnny, when we decided to do the podcast, was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I love baseball, and we trained some of the younger kids in this area, the little league age and
Mhm.
middle school age. And your journey, obviously, you got latched on to into coaching at a pretty early age
Yeah.
with Matt, and then tell us about that. Like, what was it about coaching and mentoring kids and young men that really appealed to you?
I think just seeing when they succeed and the joy that brings them,
Right.
it's like it's a whole different feeling. Like, okay, yeah, that's awesome. I want to feel that feeling over and over again. And even when they fail, you have the input to give them to maybe make it a little bit better. And
Right.
then it's like progressive overload after working at that certain thing over and over and over again, and then you finally get it right. That's when it all happens. Because baseball's a game of failures. You learn more playing the game of baseball than any other sport, I think.
We're here with Mr. Tyson Ward. Grew up playing together. We go back probably like over a decade.
Yeah, way over a decade, probably
Way
like
over a decade.
90,
Yeah,
maybe 90. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Grew up playing together. You played at James Clemens. I was at Grissom. I think James Clemens and Grissom, we had a pretty good back and forth.
yeah,
We were
Definitely.
very competitive high schools. We're really excited for his journey now as he is taking on a new head coaching role at John Paul II, correct?
yep. JP2, John Paul II. Yep.
All right. But welcome to the All Things Baseball podcast.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey in baseball, kind of when you got started and when you fell in love with baseball to kind of take it into your career?
So I started playing when I was about 4 years old, just in, I think it was the Southwest YMCA League over here in Huntsville.
Right.
My mom was a teacher, and it was so easy for her to get me over over there after she picked me up. So I started playing t-ball. Like I played all the sports like everyone else did, but I I really fell in love with baseball at around 7 years old. We moved to Madison and got started. I got started in the Palmer Park over there and made All Stars 7U. And I was like, dude, this this is what I want to do. I want to keep playing, play at a good. It was back then. All Stars was the best level of baseball you could play in before travel ball got really big a few years
Right.
later, and started playing in All Star tournaments with the old machine where they pull it back and the ball shoots in. So we went all over and played it in a bunch of tournaments, and I told my mom one day, I was like, yeah, I want to go play travel ball. Is there any way I can do that? I want to play in the tournaments. All my friends are doing it.
Right.
And my first ever travel ball team was with North Alabama Giants with TJ Shelton. And
Right.
yeah, yeah, TJ taught me so much at 9 years old. And he was awesome. He was one of the really good youth coaches around at that age.
Right.
And so then the next year, I went to the Hawks, Huntsville Hawks,
I
which
remember
was
that.
Huntsville Sports Academy with Coach John Bakke.
Mhm.
Right.
And I think I played majority of my travel ball with that group from
Right.
I think 10U to 14U, 15U. And then I get into high school. High school was a little rough for me. I had some injuries and played with some really good players like Jordan Anderson, Emmanuel Wilder. Like those were just two off the top of my head. My neighbors like would hang out with them every weekend, and just was able to see good baseball from a really young age too. So uh,
Absolutely. Johnny
yeah,
played with
I'm in.
Emmanuel, yeah,
yep,
and Jordan on the Roadrunners.
yep, on the Roadrunners, and it
Yeah,
was awesome.
we had a
Great ball players. Garrett Brown as well.
Yeah, Garrett Brown was our number one that year, or going into our junior senior year. He was G was. I still talk to G about every day or
Good.
every week talking baseball. He's the new head coach at Priceville, or he's been there for a year now.
Oh
So
wow,
Wow.
um, we actually have a game set up against him this year. So I'm pretty excited about that.
phenomenal.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a great player, a great young man. We remember him very well. Johnny, didn't you train with him over at D1?
Did yeah, I was very competitive with him.
Brian Utley, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he was throwing like low mid 90s
Yeah.
when I faced him. And I think I got jammed, and I think I hit a single. I think I just flared one. I think I got it off my knuckles, but it just got over the third baseman's head. No, he had great athletes, and you were a great athlete yourself.
Appreciate it.
Great outfielder.
Great outfielder.
And
And
you guys had phenomenal outfield because you
Yeah.
had Jordan and I-Man. I mean, and you. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just unbelievable.
Okay.
Now that I think about that, and Mays, was it Mays on your team?
Yeah, Mays was a year older than us, but Mays was always. I think he ended up playing second base his senior year. But
That's right.
man, he was so good on the mound. He was.
Right.
That was one of my favorite guys I ever caught. Honestly, when we were
yeah, he
younger,
had a
growing up.
really great curveball. I remember growing up and seeing that, and then him progressing definitely on the mound, like just a lot of torque, a lot of like fire, like coming right at you. Spin. But yeah, so you mentioned that you had dealt with some injuries, myself in high school. How did you overcome and work through those injuries to get back to the field?
So our trainers at JC, I'm pretty sure both of them are still there. Actually, they were awesome. They right when the baseball block started, they would get our treatment going, and I think the most it was like nagging over and over injuries, but they would take care of me to get me healthy enough to get back on the field. So that's where I'm so thankful for those two, and they actually helped me out a lot after. And then I think right when I got to college, it came back, and I just completely forgot everything that I did. I think I broke my wrist going into my senior year. That put me out for a while.
Mm.
I tried to jump over a catcher. I don't know why I tried to do it, but I tried to jump over a catcher, and then my junior year had something going on with my shoulder. So yeah,
Hmm.
it was just
So we
tough.
knew you as an outfielder and a catcher, but you ended
Yeah,
up catching
yeah,
towards the end of your playing days.
yep. I ended up catching towards the end. Got a preferred walk-on spot at Alabama A&M it was too good to pass up. I had the academic money. Uh, had I can't remember what else I had. I had a whole bunch of stuff, so I went to A&M and went there my freshman year. Um, had a decent fall for what my class schedule gave me. I couldn't get out to practice every day, so I would go in on with the old 5-on-1 schedule
Hmm.
and do my catching work, do my hidden work, and then I would have to go to class and I would have to miss the practices. So I ended up getting redshirted, and that's when I was like, man, do I really want to keep playing? That's when I started coaching travel ball. Matt Kimbrell, he's with Tally Performance now. He picked me up at
Right.
18 years old, and I started coaching, I think, 10U travel ball. And I was like, man, I really like this coaching thing. I think I don't know how much more I can get out of myself, so I just started coaching right then and there after my freshman year.
And that's your journey. That's what we love about doing this podcast is everybody has a different journey. You
Oh
could
yeah,
still love baseball if you decide to move, from playing to coaching, or like we're doing this is our journey.
oh yeah,
Johnny Johnny, when we decided to do the podcast, was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I love baseball, and
oh yeah.
we train some of the younger kids in this area, the little league age and
Mm-hmm.
middle school age. And your journey, obviously, you got latched on to into coaching at a pretty early age
Yeah.
with Matt, and then tell us about that. Like, what was it about coaching and mentoring kids and young men that really appealed to you?
Um, I think just seeing when they succeed, and the joy that that brings them,
Right.
it's like it's a whole different feeling. Like, okay, yeah, that's awesome. I want to feel that feeling over and over again. And even when they fail, you have the input to give them to maybe make it a little bit better. And
Right.
then it's like progressive overload after getting working at that certain thing over and over and over again, and then you finally get it right. That's when it all happens. Because baseball's a game of failures. You learn more playing the game of baseball than any other sport, I think. So
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
Very, very true. Well, it's interesting that you went right to, you know, helping and the feedback that you get from kids. It just tells us. I mean, I know your mom, and I'm sure she instilled this servant leadership in you as well, because you know, if you're truly in coaching for the right reasons, your ego is really not a big part of it. It's really just serving the kids and getting the most out of them, and like all the things that you just said. So great to hear that. And so take us through a little bit of the coaching in the travel. Like, what was that like, just traveling around and meeting other coaches and learning from all the different coaches that you were interacted with?
So early on, meeting those coaches, I was a young fire guy. I thought like I knew better, and I didn't. I didn't know a thing, and so I was just I wanted to win. I wanted the boys to help like find a way to win. So whoever helped me coach, they were all on board, and it was awesome. But then I go to Viper baseball after a few years of coaching at Hazel Green. I learned I was an assistant coach, and I was like, he was asking me input, and the guy I coached with, he was awesome. His name was Todd Gibson. Man, he showed me a different like vision or view of baseball, I would say. Um, just the small ball game. They're 13, so small ball was very important. If you could play a good brand of baseball, you win a lot of games, and I saw that early on. So,
Right.
And then just getting hooked up with Ricky Deal and Ricky showing me the stuff with the pitching side. Roger showing me stuff with the pitching side. Ryan and Sean showing me the hidden side. Like I've learned so much from those guys the past few years that I owe them a lot, honestly.
Well, those are great role models.
Oh yeah.
We know them in town. Obviously, you can see the proof is in the pudding with Roger and his
Oh yeah.
sons and family, and then Ricky's a legend in this,
Yep.
in not only this area but really nationally. So,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Deal, I call him. So I would say you were in good hands for sure in your early career. And I mean, tell us about your Hazel Green experience too, and then how did you come to JP2? Like, how did this how did this just escalate to where you're now head coach of a high school baseball team?
Oh, okay. So I think it was I after that first year of college, I did not know what I was going to do. I was like, it was a point where I knew I wanted to coach, but at the same time, did I really want to go to school and keep doing that? So I took a year off, and I finally get back into school, and I'm not doing my greatest. So my mom's like, "Hey, uh, call Dr. Hedden over at Hazel Green there and see if they're looking for someone to help out with the baseball team." This was in 2020, I think. Yeah, 2020. And they just came off the state championship run in 2018,
Right.
Elite Eight run in 2019. And I go up there and meet Coach Perez. And man, Coach Perez is something different. He asked me just baseball questions in the interview. I was kind of nervous at first, just like, okay, I know these boys that are seniors, like just around Huntsville. I've watched them play. Their big brothers played against me, and man, Frankie he was awesome to work with. I worked with him for 2 years at Hazel Green. We had the COVID year, so it was shortened, but that group that we had over there that year, I thought we had a chance to make a run, even though we didn't have the names. They knew how to win. Those guys knew how to win. And so COVID year hits. We're off for around 5 months because really we couldn't practice everyone until about October, November that year. And 2021, we hit it rolling. We weren't playing the best baseball early on, but then we go into right after spring break and we start rolling. We lose the series before spring break to Buckhorn, and then beat Athens, beat Columbia, and then we made playoffs. So I was like, okay, first playoff experience. I'm ready. Let's go.
Right.
We have to go to Coleman High School. So
Wow. Yeah.
yep, game one whooped us 10-0 or 11-1, something crazy.
Right.
And then I'm pretty sure it was Jacob Heatherly's little brother. He wasn't very little, but he was 6'6", all of
Right.
260.
Coleman's always been a powerhouse.
Oh yeah,
You
man.
remember
He
Coleman
hit
being
a walk off grand slam to win the game, and I was like, yeah, I remember Jacob shutting us down a few times back in the day too. So
definitely.
I remember. Yeah,
He
was.
was.
yeah,
Yeah. Him and who was the center fielder there? That
that year was it Owen Lovell?
Owen Lovell.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
they're
Big.
just
They had
they,
some beasts there, Coleman.
oh,
Your ages.
oh yeah,
The 80. What was that?
mm,
2017.
oh yeah.
Wow.
And
So
so
okay, so you got your taste of high school baseball, which is especially with Hazel Green and who they played and the
mm,
rivalries and all that. So tell me about how did your coaching style change from when you first started to now you're knee deep in playoff high school baseball? Like, did it change?
yeah,
Did it evolve?
yeah. It kind of it evolved around 2024, 2020, or this past year. So after Frankie, we had Mitchell Wright, which is Roger's son. So
Right.
we're we're doing we're like, okay, we're losing to these teams that do the little stuff right, like bunting, hit and run, slashing,
Right.
and then those teams are still able to hit balls a mile. So that's what kind of changed my offensive philosophy. Where okay, we need to work on these little things. If we do these little things right, all the other good stuff will come. So uh, I'm a big like hit and run, fake bunt steal, just the little things that could get you the next base and get you 90 feet away from home plate is what I live for. Like I want to see the guys hit home runs, hit doubles in the gaps, but the small ball it wins the baseball games a lot of times.
Well, you're speaking to two guys who absolutely love that brand of baseball, and you
Yeah.
don't see it
Mm-mm.
as much. And I will tell you, Johnny and I talked about this before you got on about, hey, I wonder what his style is, and
Yeah.
Johnny and I reminisce about, playing the small ball and advancing base runners, and listen, fake bunting, slash hitting, getting those infielders to move out of position so you can slash a hit. I mean, I think that's phenomenal that you are teaching that and going to be doing that,
Yeah.
because it's more exciting baseball. First of
Oh
all,
yeah.
people in the stands, when they see a squeeze play or a double steal or a fake bunt slash with guys moving, and it gets the crowd going. It's
Oh,
because
yeah.
you're sitting around waiting for a 3-run homer that may
Yeah.
never come.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can attest as well when you're on a hitting streak and you can hit anything. It feels like, but then that situation, like, and I know you played. Well, we talked a little earlier. You
Yeah.
played for Coach Hamrick, and
Oh
he
yeah.
and he was big into small ball. I mean, I remember we practiced bunting. When he coached us, working on hit and run steals, early steals.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the times when I was hitting well and I needed to bunt, like I knew we needed to do it, and I had no ego about it. I know you didn't either.
Mm.
If the time called for it, but that nowadays is like, how do you get players who see like the Aaron Judges and the Otanis and the guys who can hit balls really long ways? How do you get them to like buy into the smaller ball stuff or the things that help, like you said, help win you games?
Mm.
Is that
Uh,
hard nowadays?
wait, which I,
Is it harder nowadays with?
it just depends on the kind of kids you have. I think this past year at Hazel Green, we had guys that they saw the year that we had before, and they were so ready to buy into the system that we wanted to put in, and they ran with it. We had a kid that his junior year he was very successful, hit 5 home runs as a sophomore, but he was the fastest guy in the state last year, ran a 6.2. So when he got on a hitting streak, or if he got in that slump, he knew he could always lay that bunt down and go.
Mhm.
And so when everyone else saw him be not have that ego and want to swing the bat, and he was willing to lay the bunt down for the team or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, okay, if he's willing to do it, we're ready to do it. Even our best hitters, they knew that in a bunt situation, they would always look over and ask. They were like, if we have first or second, do I need to bunt here? What do I need to do if we get in the situation?
Thinking ahead.
Yeah,
That's
thinking
great.
ahead.
It sounds like you guys really instilled that, taught them to think, like you said, get 90 feet away from the home plate, and that's the name of the game, because you got to advance bases. Tell me about what else are you aggressive at? Reading the dirt ball. What other things will you be instilling in the JP2 players this year?
Dirt ball reads for sure. Once you see that glove flip over, we have to be ready to go, unless you hear no like that. We have to be ready to go. I'm also big on just whenever we can take that extra base. Like if a catcher's being lazy on the knee, if you're fast enough and you're aggressive enough to take it, there's more chances than not. It's more of a 50-50 shot than you're going to be thrown out by a mile, because the pitcher has to make a good throw too. Everyone has to make a great throw for you to get out.
We had just talked about that, and I think that is so much more prevalent nowadays, especially watching the big leaguers now, who they're always on one knee, and that didn't seem like it was always the case. So, I know growing up, we were taught, getting a really solid secondary, not on one knee. That's kind of like, it was like, that's like a cardinal sin almost. Now it's like, that's the way now.
It's the way now. And with catchers, the way I was with catchers last year at Hazel Green, I told them, when we have runners at second and third, I'd rather y'all be up, but when we see that they're not going, then you can drop to that one knee. But you're making a solid throw back, because we don't want them just taking that extra base. We had it happen to us once last year, and it didn't happen again after that. They after they see it happen, they're like, okay, yeah, that's what he's talking about. And
there's being on one knee the right way and being on one knee the wrong way. Like major leaguers, I don't like it.
Oh no.
It's really pretty new in the last 7 to 10 years, but I don't like it at all. But if you are going to do it, you still have to be in a position to block and recover and things like that and throw. So there's a wrong way to do it, right way to do it. And I would think that your high school catchers, your average high school catcher on a knee, is probably not always going to be doing it the right way. So reading that dirt ball is going to be even more important at the high school level, for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that's great. So, offensively, small ball, bunt, fake bunt, slash hit, stealing. I mean, obviously, these are things that you're working on with you will be working on when you choose your team. Tell us a little bit about JP2 and the journey that you got the job just in the last couple of months, right?
Yep. I got the job in July. So I've been doing the head strength and conditioning over there. And so I've known a few of the boys for a while, but being the other baseball boys that play football, and JP2 is a school that want to be good. They just needed someone, which last year, the strength and conditioning guy was awesome, but they want to be good. They want to be pushed to be good. And I don't think they really had that in the past, from just my understanding. I know they had a really good team in 2022 I think from 2019 to 2023, they were always in the playoffs, find a way to make it in the playoffs. And then the past few years, they've had they went downhill for sure, like losing more games each year. And last year they were 6-24. So I think it's not, I wouldn't say it's a challenge, because those kids know how to win. All the seniors were on that team that went to the Final Four. Okay. So they know what to do to win. They just need someone to push them in that direction to do it.
Gotcha.
And with JP2 being such a small school, I have so many 2-sport, 3-sport athletes that whenever I'm able to get them in, we're going to go all in. I'm excited for it.
Right. Yep. Gotcha. And so, assistant wise, or you were there coaches? What can you share with us? Were there coaches that were already kind of your assistants and given to you? They're part of the school, or did you add some people that you know from previous experiences?
So there's a guy that he was a part of the 2023 staff that went to the Final Four, and I brought him back. Named Dylan Jedlovic. He's a great guy. He teaches theology at the school. All the freshmen know him. He's going to help with our JV, and then my other two assistants right now. One guy, he's one of my best friends. He played with me at A&M. He I think he left A&M and went to Auburn and had an opportunity to walk on at Auburn as an infielder. Luke Simpson from Athens. I don't know if y'all ever
We know
played
the name.
against him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So Luke, he's going to come help me this year. And then another buddy of mine, he was a few years younger than us. He played at Lee High School. His name's Noah Watkins. Just got done playing college baseball.
Okay.
Played 2 years at Bishop State and 3 years at John Melvin University.
Right.
Outfielder, pitcher. He's going to help with our outfielders and pitchers this year. Yeah.
Great.
Nice.
Great. It's good to have a staff that you're comfortable with, that you can give them your vision, and then they can kind of roll it out. And then obviously good bench coaches, I think they're they're going to give their manager, their head coach options.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to let you, know, hey, or they're going to ask you, what are you thinking here? Obviously, they know the buck stops with you, and you've got the last say. But I think when you have good coaches and people that you trust,
Mm-hmm.
you could bounce things off of them,
Mhm.
and you guys make decisions based on whether it's analytics to whatever degree you can get those, but more importantly, knowing your players. And I
Yeah.
think because you and your staff are I guess fairly young, and have played recently and coached at really high levels in travel and then high school. I think the kids at JP2 are gonna eat it up. I'm really excited for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And so you just finished tryouts. Did you have a big turnout? What can you share about your tryouts?
We had a pretty good turnout for us being such a small school. Had about 25 kids come out, and which we had some kids at football and some kids with cross country and some kids with the band. So it was like give or take some days for those first 2 days, but really good turnout. Saw a lot of good stuff out of a bunch of those guys. And then we're going to have another tryout when football has their bye week to get those football guys in to make sure I get a chance to see them get a fair shot too.
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you conduct a tryout? What can you share with us? What did you learn from Ricky and from Roger and from all the people that you've learned under about putting together a tryout, which can be tough on players. They get
Oh,
2-3 days,
Mhm.
and they can have a bad day or two. Hopefully not three.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about how you conduct your tryouts so you can see as much as you need to see.
All right. So I went through actually two tryouts this year. I went through the Hazel Green tryout before I left, and so I kind of took some things from Hazel Green, how we would take them to the cage and like just see their swings, and then we would do BP on the field, and but how I started my tryout out with JP2, we started off with our 60-yard dash. That was the first thing they did. They got really warmed up, and then they ran their 60. Then I gave them about 10 to 15 minutes to get their arms loose, do whatever they needed to do, and then I hit fungo to the outfielders, and they made throws to third base and home, 2 throws and then 3 throws,
Gotcha.
and just to see their arm strength, I just wanted to evaluate that. Then I got all the infielders gathered up at short, hit ground. I just wanted to see their actions, natural actions. It doesn't matter if you were a third baseman, first baseman, whatever. Just wanted to see how you fielded the ball at shortstop. And they got 2 normal, 1 backhand, 1 forehand, and 1 slow roller. That's as simple as you can get, just to see their actions, see how athletic they are. And right after, went to catcher pop times, and then did bullpens at the end of the first day. That's all I had time for. We had rain come in on that Thursday, so I was like, all right, we're going to definitely have to move this to Friday. Friday came along. I took them through basically a full defensive practice would be,
Hmm.
and then I let them hit in the cage a little bit more. So we ran our in and out. Um, we ran through that one time, and then we did a 21 out segment. See who would step up, and just did that, and then let them hit in the cage, and then right after let them go support the JP2 Falcons football team as they did their meet the Falcons that night.
Right.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah. When you are going through these tryouts and when you're with each year's teams, and you get an idea of like, okay, this team's kind of coming together. Of course, it's not until like probably mid to late season we were like, all right, I see where we're at now. Like, this is our team, and this is what we can do. This is kind of how we need to structure um, how we do things. Do you get a sense of like all the guys together so early on? You're like, you can see the like how it can be or like what it looks like early on.
Um, yeah, early on, it's a little bit different from Hazel Green to JP2. Just the guys at Hazel Green, they're with each other basically year round, so it's hard to put that together. It's my with being at JP2 for the first 2 months, seeing how the football baseball guys interact with each other.
Mhm.
I can kind of see how it's going to be when they come into baseball, whenever they get done with their other sports, that they'll just come in and just fit right at home. Honestly, like a lot of guys are already saying they miss it, but they're so ready to play that sport and see what they can do in that sport. And our boys are going to go and support them. They all sit together at lunch. They all have different kind of groups. So it's the JP2 dynamic is pretty awesome. How it's such a small school that everyone just knows each other.
Right.
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, that could build camaraderie
mhm.
for sure. You mentioned earlier about baseball's a game of failure,
Yeah.
and it certainly is, and managing failure. And the flip side of that is confidence, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
how do you plan on putting you on the spot now? How
Yeah.
do you plan on instilling confidence in your players? Because as you know, it's not something you can just flip a switch on and tell someone, "Hey, you need to have confidence." How do you plan on helping the players build that confidence?
Um, just letting them know that what I see work for me is just letting them know that it's okay to fail. Everything's gonna happen for a reason. So you're not getting that hit in that situation. It's all right. You're gonna go up. You have another chance to do it, and letting them know that you're always going to be behind them no matter what. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I feel like uh, just my players knowing that I have their back in whatever situations, that gives them the confidence and the will to want to go out there and make a play for me or make a play for their team. So uh, that confidence just comes kind of naturally, I would say. Uh, and in that big moment, they wanted to be there for me and be there for the team and just help out any way that they can, honestly.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think that's really the best way to do it, especially the younger players.
Yeah.
That they know that people believe in them and are
Mhm.
going to stand with them. Then any one failure is not going to you know totally destroy
Yeah.
their confidence. And then as they have some little successes, you can you can build on that. So that's great. I think again that's going to be a great um, a great thing for JP2 to have that type of an atmosphere, that type of a culture in the
Mhm.
baseball team. So again, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch you guys. I'll
Oh,
have to
yeah.
check your schedule out. We
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
root for
Hmm.
Grissom because Johnny played there, and we go see
Mhm.
them, and we definitely will continue to do that. But we're going to be checking out your schedule, and
Yeah.
will you guys play Grissom in this new season?
Um, no, I don't have Grissom on the schedule. I have a few teams around Huntsville.
Right.
But so our JV team have them playing like Hazel Green, Huntsville, Buckhorn. Those are the kids that they're gonna have to compete with. In my mind, this is just how I might be a little nuts, but those are the kids they're gonna have to compete with if they want to play college baseball.
Right.
And so why not go in and play them and see what you're gonna have to compete against? And since they're so young, them seeing that good of a talent that they always pour out of those schools,
Right.
It's going to be nothing for them when they get up to the varsity level and play our classification, in my opinion. Like the 4A is a really good classification, don't get me wrong, but you don't see 82 on the JV level, 83, 80, 82 to 85 on the JV level like you do against some of those other teams.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah.
That's a really good point. You want them to see the best competition they can at an early age.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have a freshman JV and a varsity team. You'll have
Uh,
all three, or
I will have a JV and a varsity team.
okay,
We'll have with that JV team, they will play. There's so many middle schoolers that I have, so we have some middle school games sprinkled in, some
sprinkle
freshman games sprinkled in, and then
in.
actual
Gotcha.
JV teams sprinkled in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So that's the luxury of having just being a 4A school, being able to do all that, and I have enough kids to play all that, do all that with them, and they seem pretty excited about it. So
Right. Right.
yep.
Right. Right.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's good. Did you do any camps this summer? Did you work at anybody's camp for baseball, or were you too busy with the travel and all that?
So I was able to help out at Hazel Greens right before I had to go to Atlanta for a tournament. I was able to work Hazel Greens camp for, I think I actually worked it for all 3 days and then had to leave that night to go to Atlanta. So
Right.
I wish I could have done more, but I was just so busy traveling. I was in Birmingham, Atlanta every other weekend. So,
Wow.
yep.
Yeah. And can you talk a little bit too about, so you're the coach of the Vipers as well,
Yep.
and traveling is definitely a big part of summer ball, fall ball. Well, it'll only be summer ball, correct?
Yep. Only summer.
Okay, right. When you send off your summer ball players as you kind of finish up the summer,
Mhm.
what is some advice for like leaving things you tell them before you go to your high school and they go to theirs?
I just
In
tell
general,
them,
just
remember, okay. Just telling them, like, remember everything that, like, you play a lot of games in the summer. You play another 30 games on top of the 40 games you probably play in the high school season.
Right.
So just take the extra reps and extra everything that you do serious. That's the message I give to them midsummer. Like, we're still playing, you're still playing for something. And then at the end of the summer, I ask them, what all did you learn? What all did you see? Uh, and this summer was especially really special because it was my last year with my 17U group. So it's talking to college coaches, trying to get got those guys off and get them recruited. And actually, my last tournament, we have two teams in the 17U age group. We're always together, anyways, with the tournaments that we go to. But I was able to bring quite a few of them to come play with us in that last tournament.
nice.
So, and it's guys that I coached when they were 13, and they got back to it felt like a full circle moment. So
Yep.
I was just letting them know that, like, I love them and I'm excited to see what y'all do. Y'all are going to have a big senior years, and they get ready to go off to college next year. So, yep, I'm really excited for a lot of those guys. We just had a few guys commit over the past week, and I was like, man, that's awesome. it's,
Yeah.
it's fun to see.
Yeah. I saw your profile, a couple guys. That's awesome. That's just that's got to be one of the best feelings as a coach. You see, like, you know, you see the player, something connects with them and their game, and they progress really fast. And it's almost like with those players, it's pretty easy. It's like you don't have to do a whole lot because they got a really good head on their shoulders. They usually can practice on their own a lot, and they help the guys around them. So you're like, you want to follow certain players, follow this guy because he's doing it right. It's like that's kind of how it spreads amongst your team. You get one, and everybody flocks to them,
Yeah.
which is great. And it is different, summer ball. It's like you said, like it's the playing is shortened. You're only really playing for the weekend, and so you really want to gear up for the pool play, for the tournament. So that's usually it always feels different, and you're trying to just get them going as fast as possible. And in the high school, I know there's a little bit more of a learning curve with a lot of the guys come back, and then it's like, all right, practice, and then
Yeah.
for a month and then going into games. Yeah, that's amazing. I think it's not easy to do going from summer to the high school season.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so any big plans for like the workouts off season now as we kind of gear in? Now football season kind of takes over, and then you guys will be running into January when
Yeah.
season starts.
Yeah. So right now, I'm really lucky that with the strength and conditioning class, I'm able to get my baseball boys during school day to work out, so I can give them their workouts, and I'm really excited. I just want to see how strong and big they can get up until January. We're gonna refine baseball skills and do all that sort of stuff, but really, what it boils down to is how strong you are. If you're strong and your body can withhold all the damage that I'm doing it to you in January, like you're gonna be wet. You're gonna be okay once the season comes around. You're gonna be able to have some wear and tear, be able to hold your own and stay in the game, even if you're a little bit sore, a little bit tired or fatigued. You just that you would take yourself back to the workouts, how hard the workouts were. Like, okay, I know I can push through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for the season. I already have the whole fall planned out, how I want to do it. I have
Nice.
most of the varsity schedule about done. Trying to go to the beach for spring break and just give them a chance to get away from here for a little bit and go play some really good talent down at the beach.
Yeah, that was always one of my favorite parts of the season, aside from the end when you try to get to the playoffs. But it's nice to get away,
Mm-hmm.
and just enjoy some baseball. Kind of going back a little bit too. Were there any teams like in high school that you guys played that were like, oh, this team is like this is like the next level, or a team in summer ball we were like, oh gosh, this team like, yeah, these guys could all get drafted or something like that. Yeah.
Going back, I think in high school, the craziest teams we saw year in and year out was we saw that Coleman team with how we talked about earlier
Right.
that 2017 group. Saw them every year. We saw the Decatur group with Tanner Burns and Ladarius Woods. That group was insane. We went to that PG high school showdown when they used to be at Lake Point. We played IMG, had them on the ropes, 3-0, and they walked us off with a walk-off grand slam.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so
I think I remember that. I
yeah,
think I remember reading that. That's obviously it's
it
not
was.
that's baseball. I mean, you can
Yep.
play some of the best teams in the country and hang in
Mhm.
there and maybe even beat them.
Oh yeah.
That's great. Hey, before we say our goodbyes, I wanted to do something fun, just a quick rapid fire. I'm going to ask you a question. We'll do this quick. Get your thoughts on some
Yeah.
things. So first thing, you got any pregame meals? Anything,
Oh,
any rituals?
so last year it was Zaxby's because
Okay.
Zaxby's was so close to the high school, but I think this year it's probably going to be maybe a Chick-fil-A or Tenders because it's so close. Like
Okay.
that's my
Any
go-to.
rules that you would like to see changed in baseball?
I
Anything?
want to see in high school baseball. I want to see the pitcher be able to wear the pitch column. That's they changed the rule with the base path, but I want to see the pitcher wear the pitch column. I know you see in other levels, but the other rule I would like to see changed is like the legal pitch rule. No one knows what it is. Have a it's a bulk or it's not.
Right.
I'd rather just have that.
Gotcha. Okay. And automated umps or not? For major leagues? Do you like that they're thinking about doing that, or would you rather keep it just with the home plate umpire?
I would rather just keep it the same, honestly. It's human error, and it makes the game more enjoyable seeing the umpires call strikes and balls. That was one of my favorite things. I remember growing up having the crazy umpire that would do a crazy sound. So
And last one for me before Johnny, if you've got some best pitcher you faced ever
um,
at any level.
I think Tanner Burns, when we were 12, he was already up to like 80. So it was insane.
Johnny caught him. He could tell
Yeah.
you that too. Tanner Burns would be a good one. He's
Oh yeah.
a great pitcher. Hopefully he's not done yet. Hopefully he's
Oh yeah.
going to have more success with the Guardians and
Just
such.
call it,
Johnny,
yeah.
what do you got? Anything stand out?
think I got good on my questions on my end. Just wanted to say we're super excited for you at JP2 over there, taking over the head coaching reins, and we know you're going to do awesome. Super pumped for you, and yeah, really excited, man.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Oh, you got it.